and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, November 30th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi. Hi. And our energy mantra for today is, I know infinite possibilities require the ability to change. And today we have our full moon partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. And oh my gosh, I have so much to say. So I'm going to just dig in. So I was going to give you a lovely fireplace shot for today's video because my technology is just not cooperating for me to be on camera. I was just being so crazy and taking too much time. So then I'm like, okay, I can do a fire pretty quickly. And I'm sitting here trying to get this fire lit, and it seems like it's going to take off, and then it wasn't. It would seem like it was going to take off, and it wasn't. And the time's getting later and later, and I'm going through paper trying to stoke this fire. And I was like, I know all this applies to the horoscope. I know all this applies to this intense lunar eclipse energy that we are in right now. And that's the thing with change, is that change sometimes can light like a wildfire. It takes one ember and it's up in smoke, everything. And then other times, change requires us to stoke the fire, keep adding energies to the fire, and sometimes it even requires us to change our plans. Now, the thing is, this eclipse is really pushing us towards changing. It's actually really important. It's definitely a major turning point kind of eclipse energy. It's at 8 degrees Gemini. 8-degree energy is about personal responsibility. So this isn't about the world needs to change, that person needs to change, this or that needs to change. It is, okay, this is up to me to bring about change in my life. So that's number one in this. I really love the Sabian symbol for Gemini, 8 degrees. Aroused strikers surround a factory. So it's talking about going on strike. Well, why do people go on strike? They go on strike because conditions aren't matching their expectations. Conditions aren't supportive or right for them. So where is your life requiring change right now? Well, your life is requiring change where the conditions aren't right, where this energy is no longer flowing or working for you. So be aware. Where are you feeling that discontent? If this is not a call to sit and just be still in the discontent, which, let's be fair, sometimes that is the call. This is a call towards some step of change. And again, back to that 8 degrees, this is a personal responsibility energy to embody in and through this eclipse. Now, I hope you checked out my written scope that I did, but in addition, we do have Uranus energy feeding in to this eclipse energy. It is more working with the sun energy, as Uranus is in this in conjunct with the sun. But these triggers, Uranus brings triggers, this worth stuff that's coming up, all of that is also pushing you towards these changes that you have to make. Now, again, back to my fire analogy, this could be happening for you. This could be like, oh my God, my life's up in flames kind of energy in this eclipse. It also could be that constant, do I need to check on this fire? Do I need to add anything to the fire? Do I need to poke the fire? You know, that kind of thing. Or even like me, after this was like my 4th approach, the lighting of the candles right here. Or even, do I need to change my approach in and through this energy of change? So eclipses naturally do bring change, but Gemini energy, a North Node in Gemini working us, is saying, hey, part of our human destiny right now for each and every single one of us is embracing the energy of change. So awareness of that is definitely important in this. Now, the other piece of that is Gemini. There is a piece of communication here, and communication can be about speaking. It can be about learning, reading. It's also about listening. And so I'm definitely feeling listening. Pay attention to the patterns. Oh my God. I, as a Gemini rising, have to tell you that is my all-time favorite thing about Gemini energy is its ability to track and notice patterns. Be aware of the patterns. If you have a pattern of something in your life, and I would say a pattern is more than 2 or 3, maybe more than 3. Like once you hit 3 of something, okay, there's this pattern going on. What is this pattern? How do I track it? What is this pattern showing me? And that's where we use the Sagittarius energy in this. What are the lessons for me in this? Again, that 8-degree energy, it comes right back to the self, right back to personal responsibility. 8 is where you can find yourself empowered by taking back that responsibility. So be aware of that in and through this energy. Now, I do want to say that this eclipse, as my camera slowly slides, slight adjustment. See, just stoking the fire, adjusting. This is kicking off our eclipse corridor. So we will be building to another eclipse in about 2 weeks, a total solar eclipse. Now, one of the things that eclipses show us is we see the light and we see the darkness. And that's an important pattern to follow in these eclipse energies, is noticing where the darkness is coming up to be seen. And again, this is a personal responsibility thing. So you can be like, it's that person in my life who's dark. Okay, well, are you engaging with that person? Do you continue to talk to that person? Do you continue to do something? Where is your personal energy inviting that, Now, I know there are times where it is very challenging to get away from that. I am so aware of that, and this is not meant to shame anybody, but there is an element of power where we can take responsibility. So even if you are feeling stuck in a certain situation like that, again, no shame at all, just asking spirit, asking universe, asking yourself, noticing your patterns. Is there a place where that shift can take place? Is there a place where responsibility can be brought back? Is there a place where you can... I really do believe that once we learn that lesson, things do shift. I've seen it so many times in my life. Once you grasp the lesson, the universe is like, okay, done with that. Here's your next one. So a lot of times, what is that lesson? Getting to that point. And I can, again, say that's not necessarily always easy. And yet our discontent is pushing us all towards that in here. And the universe is willing to send us signs. It is willing to send us lessons. It is willing to send us mirrors and situations so that we can get this lesson. And this is where this personal eclipse, this 8-degree November 30th eclipse is pushing us. So awareness of that will support. I don't know if I mentioned the time. It's going to be at 1:30 a.m. Pacific time. It is a partial lunar eclipse. So, you might be able to see part of it. But holy wow, I've been feeling it this week. So I hope that you can work with this energy. Now, also in alignment with this, like I said, we have this Gemini energy, which stimulates the mind. We have this Uranus energy feeding in, which stimulates the mind, stimulates the electrics. And we have Mercury preparing to shift signs actually on Tuesday. Mercury will be finishing up in Scorpio and moving into Sagittarius. That means Mercury will be hanging out at those 2 final degrees, 28, 29 degrees of Scorpio. So chances are you, especially if you're willing to take that responsibility, may get glimpses of your own shadow through this. Again, this is really a personal eclipse, that 8-degree energy. And so I really encourage you to be willing to be there with it. I have the Hermit card. Aloneness, sitting in that energy. This is so potent. This is so powerful. And even as you sit in that, remember your innocence. Remember that light, that innocence, that light. Okay, what is this lesson? What is this reason that I have called this into my life at this point, in this way? What's my lesson? And how am I being called to move through it? I would say that there may be some major full moon over after this. I got the exhaustion card. I gotta say, so many people have called, feeling very intensely, feeling very